Melissa J. McLean here. Let's talk hiring. I know that this is a question that many new practice owners have when they're thinking about or starting to build a group practice is hiring. Oh my gosh. I've been a solopreneur for so long. I have no idea how to start to bring on new therapists. All right, so I'll give you some tips on how to bring in new therapists. Number one, identify a platform where you can post your job. Some people choose to post their job on their website. Now, while that's a good place to post it, realize that if you're just starting off, there may not be a lot of people that will find your website and find the posting. So sometimes it can be helpful to use other platforms, such as Indeed, for example. That's a platform where you can post a job description for free. And when you do that, you can have your specifications for what you're looking for in a therapist. And once you post that and it's made visible, then you can just sit back and wait for people to apply through your job ad. Once you've identified the platform and your job posting is live and you start having applicants come in, and then you can start the process of screening through by initially looking at their resumes, seeing if they A, have experience, B, line up with your mission and your vision for your practice, as well as fit in within the parameters that you have set out in the job description. And then you can go ahead and move forward to do interviews. Some people choose to do a brief phone interview first. That way you can get more of an idea if this is somebody that you want to do a full interview with. And you just do maybe a brief phone interview to make sure that your expectations line up with what the person is looking for. And then the next step might be having a first interview. During that interview, you would get information about that candidate to see how well they might fit within your practice. During that interview, it can be helpful to have a set of questions. That way it can be more standardized for your practice. So for each applicant that you interview, you'll have the same set of questions. And you'll hear me talk about this a lot, but it's important to really set it up in a way that you can just wash, rinse, repeat. Meaning as you grow and eventually have more people helping you with the hiring process, if you already have it set out and laid out and have templates, it will be easy for somebody else to jump right in. And I'll talk about all of that in a later video when we talk about outsourcing so that you're not doing everything. Back to the hiring. Once you do the initial interview, if it's a candidate that you may want to move forward with, the next step might be having a second interview. Typically during a second interview, I will have just really a hypothetical case that I go through. I want to see how a potential clinician will conceptualize a case that they may have while we're in the practice. I want to see how they'll not only conceptualize it, but how might they actually carry through, and how would they initiate treatment with the client? How would they end treatment with the client? What's happening during the duration? How might they handle challenges that come up real time? So typically during my second interview, I might have some role playing that's going on as well. So that gives me more of an idea of the personality of the clinician, as well as their level of skill for the clinician. And it can be very helpful in making a determination on whether or not to hire this person into your practice. After the second interview, if the person is somebody who might be a great fit, then the next step would be to make an offer. You can make the offer, and what that means is letting that person know everything that is included in the job, what you as the practice are offering that therapist. And we're assuming that now you already have an idea of if they're going to be a W-2 employee or an independent contractor. And this is something I can get into in another video, but in general, the difference is when you have a W-2 employee, that's when you, the practice, provide everything that's needed for the employee to be able to do their job. And you have more guidance, more direction over how things are done versus an independent contractor who, exactly as it sounds, is technically working independently. And so it's just a different route that you take. So within that offer letter, that's explained to the person, whether it's an employee or an independent contractor position. Once they accept that offer, the next step would potentially be to have an orientation. During the orientation is where you would give the overview of the practice and possibly go through your employee manual. So that way they know what to expect from the position and just get a general sense of what they need to do. So you may go through your EHR system at that time and just go through all the ins and outs, including the how to do certain tasks that they will be doing as part of their job description. The next step after doing orientation would be making sure that they get set up prior to starting to see clients with the EHR system, getting them set up with the phone system, getting them also set up with their email, and anything else that you need to connect your clinicians to. You want to make sure that they are all set up and know how to use those systems prior to actually beginning to see clients. Because when you do it that way, that will provide a smooth transition into them seeing clients. And after that, it's all about them starting to see clients and being available, either yourself or if you have other people in place, to be available to answer any questions that they may have. And initially, you can choose to have supervision sessions with them weekly or bi-weekly for the first few months so that it will help them to get acclimated to your practice. That is something that we do at my practice, just to be able to help the new clinicians to feel comfortable, even if they're seasoned clinicians. I've had a lot of positive feedback about it because it helps them to feel more comfortable in using our systems, and just being able to consult on cases as well can be very helpful for them. So that's in general, in a nutshell, kind of the hiring process when you're thinking about bringing on a new clinician. I do have a freebie that if you go ahead and click on the link in the description, it will take you to be able to get that freebie on the hiring process, because I know it's a lot of information, and there's some more information that's on there as well that I may not have gone through on this video. So feel free to click the link so you can get that free resource that you can use if you're thinking about or just curious about how to even bring somebody on and what you need to do when you do bring somebody on. Again, if you have any comments or questions, just drop them below. And don't forget to subscribe so that way you can stay updated on all the new videos that will be coming out. Bye.